Hi, gorgeous lights. Welcome to an energy update. I had other things on my mind there. Just was talking to the guides about the energy at the moment, and there's quite a few dimensional shifts that are going on, pulling us backwards and forwards, and that feeling of 3D, 5D, 3D, 5D, going backwards and forwards too. But we are in refocusing energy that is starting to really develop. So we're refocusing on what's truthfully important to us. How do we want to live? What's the type of things that we want in our life? There's a lot of internal processes that are going on. So it's relationship energy governed by the relationship of yourself. It looks like it's extending out to March. Now, the reason why the universal energies keep shifting, or there's a timeline when this energy is supposed to close off and then it doesn't, is because at a collective consciousness level, we have a lot of this going on. We have a lot of people avoiding themselves or avoiding the fact that your outer world is a reflection of your inner world. And every time I go to explain that to people, they get a little bit confused about what that actually means. Now, you're a creator being. You are incredibly creative. What you're actually creating is the way that the world is actually responding to you by the thoughts that you have, how you turn up, your viewpoint, which is all governed by the non-conscious or the subconscious. So there's really only about 5 to 10% of us that in ourselves that is actually consciously paying attention to what's actually going on. And those realizations that we are the ones that are shaping it is actually sometimes pretty hard for human beings to actually digest. Yet, it works this way. Wherever your focus goes, your energy flows. And that, if you understand that concept, then you understand, by stepping back just a little bit, that you can actually be incredibly powerful if you are looking at the way that you manifest your thoughts. And speaking of which, we're in this really, really amazing responsive manifestation energy right at the moment, which you guys should be taking advantage of. So, when I'm working with people and I'm talking to Spirit, I'm like, what they'll say to me, what's the problem? What's going on in my life? And they keep playing that Taylor Swift song, which is, it's you, you're the problem, it's you. And I think people aren't realizing in this energy how much they're getting in their own way. And it works this simply. You have to pause long enough to really, really investigate how your inner voice is talking. Now, if you are used to critiquing yourself or picking on yourself, then your outer reflection is gonna be people that criticize you. If you're judgmental towards yourself, you'll get judgmental people, or you'll notice judgmental people around you. So it's kind of a combination, because we get in our heads a lot and we can overanalyze and over critique about, is this causing this or is this causing that? The key is actually stepping back into like the observer role and actually going, if I'm turning up in this way and this is happening in my outer world, where am I aligning myself or not aligning myself? And I had a beautiful person the other day who said to me, I always feel so picked on, like the universe is conspiring against me. The universe doesn't conspire against you. It conspires for you to help you to grow in the way that you've promised yourself of your soul contract when you're actually down here. So there's so much interweaving and so much actually going on. So we're in a couple of months of epiphanies and clarity. So you're going to get absolutely huge clarity if you step back and realize that the universe is responding to you. So the clarity that you get is about your own behavior. And it's interesting because people say to me, well, if I'm a really, really honest person, how come I'm coming across people that, are not telling me 100% truth or anything like that? You have to look at it this way. When you are not being honest with yourself, you are going to notice where people externally from you are not honest. And some of the degrees of our, and before everybody jumps on a bandwagon and says, oh my gosh, I'm trying to be really as honest as possible with myself. Absolutely. But the types of dishonesty that you can tell yourself is where you kind of get up and you look in the mirror and you go, oh, crikey, I don't like this about myself. I don't like that about myself. And then you go out in the world and you're like, well, I am a really honest person. Well, you were dishonest to yourself in how you viewed yourself and how you talk to yourself, and your self-talk will make you notice what other people are actually doing as well. So it keys on you having recognition about, thank you, that every motion is in motion. So every step that you take is having a reactive step for you as well. So if your energy in motion, that energy is radiating out off you and actually drawing towards you those understandings, those things that you can actually notice. And sometimes it's really blunt force trauma so that you do notice it. And then you're going to have to go, okay, you know, what was I thinking? The thing is, we don't consciously think, which is something that Spirit talks about quite a lot. Brains, and when I listen to people's brains, like I can walk through a mall and listen to people's brains, and they're thinking about what they want to buy. They're thinking about that they don't have money for that. They're thinking about other bills. They're not actually 100% present in what they're doing, and we randomly let our brains just go all over the place. We seriously do, without actually going, what am I actually thinking of? So we think our brains just kind of randomly going all over the place, but it's a little bit like it's a radio, you know, where someone's just fiddling to see if they can find where the station is, and everything that you're sending out has an energy attachment to it, every vague thought. And I quite often tell people that there's a technique that if it's really, really loud in your head and you feel like you're in a mall, but it's inside your own head with that babble of people, then 9 times out of 10 you've got stuck in what I call the babble plane. So, you know, we've got the earth here, and then we've got radio frequency around the outside of it, which is everybody's thoughts. Now that's what I call the babble plane, and you can literally level up. So if you've got that feeling like a mall in your head, then try this technique. Just envisage an elevator just in front of you and walk into the elevator, and notice on the wee keypad or buttons that one says peace, and just push the peace button, listen to the beautiful elevator music as you go up to peace, and then just get out on that floor, stepping out onto a floor just like you would when you come off an elevator. And I just want you to listen to how quiet that is, because you have consciously chosen to remove yourself away from the babble plane by taking the elevator up to peace. Notice what they just said. You've consciously chosen to move yourself. That required noticing what you're thinking about, envisaging getting on an elevator, taking yourself up to peace, and getting out again. So you are consciously driving which direction that your thoughts are actually going in. Now, if you take that and you say, okay, that was just one thought, and you think about all the random bouncing things that bounce around your head over the course of the day, and each of them has that same power of what you just did, then you understand, when you come back to consciously thinking, what an amazing impact of what the universe can actually manifest for you in conjunction with the energy that you're directing your thoughts with as well. We are really bad at this, and you have to cut yourself some slack for not realizing the sheer weight of random thoughts and how they ping around. Now, the art to doing it is not having an attachment to an outcome, and navigating through this clarity energy by realizing that what you're thinking is creating, and it doesn't sometimes it can instantaneously create it, but other times it's just that you've sent out so many thoughts, so the universe is like, well, that's an easy one to fix, and that one's an easy one to send towards you, and that one's an easy one for you to notice, ting 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 as well. So you can end up being roller coasting all over the place as well. Now, the other thing in this energy, it's really important to get out of your head because of that confusion and into the feels. You know, how do I feel about this interview that I've actually got coming up? Okay, I'm a little bit nervous, but I know in my competency, I'm really good at what I'm actually able to do, so I'm going to sit in there. I'm not going to sit in scenarioizing what could possibly happen, because creative energy, right? You're going to create some of those scenarios. So it keys on you actually bringing into realization in this energy, particularly if it's a relationship with self, then it's refocusing energy, and it's also clarity energy, that if you can slow it down and start with this technique and this energy where you're actually bringing in this mindfulness of which direction your thoughts are flowing in, where it's creating energy. Is it worry-based? Because if it's worry-based, then the universe will show you more things to worry about. And there isn't actually anything to worry about. You're manifesting it. So if you actually switch it up and actually come back to where can I empower myself, that I'm going to hold to the positivity, because there's also a frequency of persistence and resilience that people are getting taught at the moment. And this is a growth realm. You are here to grow gorgeous lights. You are here to have experiences that challenge you and help you level up. And we have to stop getting into this negative, which I realize is part of the human brain, because it's this part of our brain, the negative of going, what's the next negative thing that's going to happen? Because all you're doing is creating a self pattern that you believe fully that the bad things are going to happen more than you believe that the good things are going to happen. And they're trying to get us to investigate this understanding of how creative we are, what kind of creative beings that we are, and come into unity between our thoughts and our heart, into alignment, so we can then start creating the unity on the planet and the community on the planet that we need to do. The only place that we're going to start doing this is here, with you, in here, right from the get-go. So please understand, this energy is deliberately push-pulling to get you to deeply connect with your own understanding in yourself by listening to your inner wisdom, which everybody's got. Everybody has got. If you get out of your head and actually take the time to listen to about how you truthfully feel about something, and don't discard the emotion. Don't think, oh, I feel really uncomfortable, I'm feeling emotions and I don't really want to do that. Yes, you do. You just don't want to sit in it. And learning to navigate through your own emotional equilibrium and regulating your own emotions is part of your resilience. It's part of your soul level learning. And lots of Kira souls right at the moment are being pushed to find emotional equilibrium so that you can actually live, breathe, have your beautiful life without being pulled around all over the place by the emotions. So, surrender to fighting with your own self, especially here, and start to actually bring it into conscious understanding, which is self-regulation, monitoring. And in this energy, I'd advise you to start just experimenting around to see how this is impacting you, because it will be. Take care of you guys, gorgeous light. As ever, what an awesome time to be on the earth plane, to really be learning about yourself and learning about how we get back to community and unity, since we're heading into and have started into the age of Aquarius, which is really having those harmonious existences. Fantastic. Start with you first, because it always starts with you first. Take care of you.